Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we cover my experience on the Toltec Rattler Redux photo charter on October 25th, 2022. The Rattler has easily become my favorite event that I've attended. In this video, we'll break down some of the things I did that day and some background on the shots thanks to Ticket to Toltec by Doris P. Osterwald. That concludes the intro, so let's begin. We again find ourselves in the village of Chama, New Mexico. However, today, we step back to 1972 as we eagerly await the departure of the Toltec Rattler for Bighorn Y, approximately 45 miles up the line. To anyone who hasn't heard of a photo charter, railroads will assemble a particular consist, which can vary from charter to charter, and take it out on the line and stop at scenic locations along the route. The train lets off the photographers, backs out of sight, and runs past them, recreating standard railroad operations. They may do this once or twice more before reboarding the train and continuing to the next location. Today's charter takes us up and over Cumbres Pass, down into the Los Pinos Valley, and back up through the Toltec Gorge on its way to Bighorn. Once there, the train will turn around and return to Chama. The Toltec Rattler Redux gets its name from the first ever charter on the Cumbres and Toltec, the Toltec Rattler. And because we are recreating that charter, the Redux was added. Redux meaning brought back or revived. Now that we know about the charter and what it's recreating, it's time to look into the consist. Up front is Denver and Rio Grande Western K36 Mikado number 484. Once again wearing her 70s Cumbres and Toltec Herald scheme. Behind that is a DNRGW reefer, 3 side dump gondolas, a couple of rider boxcars, some high side rider gondolas, and 2 DNRGW cabooses. We chose to ride in caboose 05635. Our ride up Cumbres Pass was nothing short of magical. The best part of the Cumbres and Toltec is its authenticity, and this ride only cemented that. From water tanks to phone booths, everything was there. Riding the normal train does feel authentic, but riding in the cupola of an authentic DNRGW caboose, sitting right where so many brakemen have sat riding behind a freight train, truly ties this together. The stack talk of 484 while she dragged our freight train upgrade was also absolutely incredible. My entire life I've been told I was born in the wrong century, and this trip proved that perfectly. Our first run-by was at Apache Crossing. This road leads to private land originally part of the Tierra Amarilla Mexican land grant of 1832. Now in the Los Pinos Valley, we set up at the Los Pinos water tank for an extra snowy run-by. We now find ourselves at Cascade Trestle. This bridge's original wooden structure was built in 1880 during the construction of the San Juan extension, and the present-day iron structure was built in 1889. This bridge measures 408 feet long and 137 feet high at its highest point. I will also point out the fantastic echoes throughout the Los Pinos Valley. There wasn't enough room on the sunny side of the tracks, so we split into two groups and each got two angles of the consist. After picking up lunch in Osier, we continued eastbound towards Sublette and Bighorn, stopping at Mud Tunnel, one of two on the Cumbres and Toltec. The tunnel is 342 feet long and was dug through soft weathered ashen mud. The DNRGW had trouble with the tunnel as soft rock and mud would slide easily during storms. On April 14, 1889, a locomotive pulling a westbound freight struck a mudslide that forced the engine into a timber support of the tunnel. The engineer and firemen were injured in this accident. The San Luis Courier of Alamosa reported 3 days later that the engine was badly demolished, but the car suffered minor damage. Toltec Siding is a very scenic spot in the Cumbres and Toltec. The siding was originally 1,166 feet long, but was lengthened to 3,400 feet in the 50s to handle the long pipe trains during the oil boom on the Farmington branch. We again split up and had 2 run-bys for a 1-to-1 copy of the original 1972 charter.
now. The hard part is to get up.
I know.
Our last run by eastbound occurred at an S-curve with beautiful Rocky Mountain vistas behind it, just before the west end switch of Bighorn Siding. This was one of my favorite locations from the day.
I see. Time's up.
The DNRGW reached Bighorn, New Mexico on May 31st, 1880, and opened the line for business to this point. Just east of Bighorn Siding is a 24-panel snow fence. Bighorn Y was extended in 1953 during the oil and gas boom in the San Juan Basin. Both snow fighting equipment and helper engines were commonly turned here. After our turnaround in Bighorn, we made our way west to Sublette, New Mexico. Sublette was originally known as Boydsville, but an unknown name change occurred, leading to the location's present-day name. Once the railroad reached here, the line was open for business in June of 1880. The town originally had a water tower, but now has a standpipe. Today, the standpipe, section house, bunkhouse, and a shed are all that's left of Sublette. After the run-by and sublet, we raced for Rock Tunnel. The previous day's charter train sadly didn't reach Rock Tunnel before the sun set behind the mountains, leaving the portal in shade. One of the most iconic photos of the original charter is a shot at Rock Tunnel, making it a very high priority. Rock Tunnel is a 366-foot-long tunnel that was blasted out of the Precambrian rock in mid to late 1800. It rests about 600 feet above the bottom of the Toltec Gorge. In October of 1880, a formal excursion was held to the portal of Rock Tunnel, in which the riders stayed in their Pullman car for the night. We again split up into two groups for this shot.
Right on the line, please.
After this, our fortunes turned south as the speeder that followed our train broke down and we were forced to tow it to Osier. This didn't affect our schedule, however, as Rock Tunnel was the last planned run-by location. I mentioned earlier my fascination with riding in a caboose on a narrow gauge freight train, and this feeling was only enhanced as we rode west into the nightfall. I had never ridden a train into the night, and this feeling was truly incredible. The highlight of my night ride was the beautiful starlit sky as we stopped for water at Cumbres Pass. I sadly don't have a picture of it, and frankly, I don't think a photo would have done it justice. The only thing I can say is that it was the most beautiful night sky I'd ever seen. Mixed with the smoke, the steam, the history of where I was riding and what I was riding in, and the untouched feeling of the Cumbres and Toltec combined for one of my most cherished memories, not just of the charter, or my trip to the Cumbres and Toltec, not of just being a rail fan, but of my entire life as a whole. I truly can't thank the Cumbres and Toltec and the friends of the Cumbres and Toltec enough for such an unforgettable time on their railroad. Never before has an organization blown me away with just how well it recreates the past, in a time when the world was run by steam. A world which I so dearly wish I was able to witness for myself, and a world which I am so dearly thankful for is being preserved for people like you and me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.